Welcome back to our channel today. Today we are talking about 4 essential things the elderly must remember when having sex, to live a longer, healthier life. As women age, it's important for them to gradually become more attuned to the natural changes occurring in their bodies. Embracing these changes can help them achieve fulfillment and intimacy in their sexual lives. For elderly couples, maintaining a healthy sexual relationship isn't just about pleasure, it's about physical well-being, emotional harmony, and even longevity. And there are 4 crucial lessons every senior should remember when it comes to intimacy, to not only preserve their health but also extend the quality of their golden years. Let's take a deeper look together. 1. Practice moderation. Overindulgence can be dangerous. Let's begin with a compelling real-life case from Hanoi. Mr. Quang, a 70-year-old man, found himself in a state of emotional distress, plagued by anxiety and fear after a period of trying to satisfy his wife's unusually high sexual demands. His wife, who was in her early 60s, feared he would be unfaithful, so she insisted on frequent intimacy. This fear led her to push for more and more closeness, ultimately overwhelming her husband. Eventually, Mr. Quang's mental state deteriorated to the point where he had to seek help from a urology specialist. Dr. Nguyen Kak Loy, a leading expert from the Hanoi Andrology and Infertility Hospital, explained that Mr. Quang's psychological state required immediate intervention. His emotional exhaustion was so severe that the mere thought of intimacy induced panic. In this case, the doctor recommended couples counseling, focusing especially on the wife, who, after understanding the situation more deeply, finally showed empathy toward her husband. Dr. Loy stressed that while people aged 18 to 25 might maintain intimacy several times a week, this frequency should be reduced drastically with age. For men in their 70s, sexual activity should ideally be limited to once a month or even less. The aging body, its bones, muscles, and hormone levels, simply cannot keep up with the demands of youthful desire. Testosterone, the primary male sex hormone, declines with age, leading to reduced libido and difficulties in performance. There's also a simple rule that doctors often recommend, known as the Rule of 9. It suggests multiplying the first digit of your age by 9 to determine the number of times you should engage in sex over 4 weeks. For instance, at age 60, 6 times 9 equals 54, hence, ideally, no more than 5 times per 4 weeks. At 70, 7 times 9 equals 63, so about once every 6 weeks. Still, this formula only serves as a general guideline. The key is to listen to your own body, know your limits, and never feel pressured to exceed them. 2. Gentle, emotional, and safe, not intense and risky. While achieving orgasm can be deeply pleasurable, it can also pose risks for the elderly if done recklessly. A tragic case highlighted this risk when a 65-year-old man died while in the middle of lovemaking with his wife. An autopsy revealed that the intense climax caused blood vessels in his brain to rupture, leading to instant death. Although his wife was not held responsible, the emotional toll of such a loss is immeasurable. Medical research has shown that regular, healthy sexual activity can indeed improve cardiovascular health, reduce risks of cancer, and enhance overall well-being. However, these benefits only apply when the activity is within safe, moderate limits. Intense physical exertion, like what happens during aggressive lovemaking, can elevate heart rate and blood pressure to dangerous levels for the elderly, whose arteries may already be weakened. Therefore, intimacy at an older age must focus on emotional connection, gentle affection, and mutual understanding. A soft touch, a warm embrace, and thoughtful presence often mean more than the act itself. When done right, sex can become a way to reduce feelings of loneliness, boost immunity, and bring peace to the soul. 3. Be careful with positions, avoid injuries. Another frequently overlooked risk for seniors is injury due to improper sexual positions. At the Vietnam-Germany Friendship Hospital, a 55-year-old man was rushed in with severe trauma after a sexual mishap. The diagnosis, a fractured penile tissue, known as a ruptured corpus cavernosum, a serious and painful injury. Surgeons had to perform emergency surgery to repair his urethra and restore normal function. Yet, he still faces risks of long-term complications such as erectile dysfunction, urinary issues, or even permanent damage. In just 1 month, the same hospital treated 5 similar cases. These injuries often occurred not from aggressive sex but from simply misaligned movements during intercourse, especially when the penis is fully erect and accidentally strikes a hard surface like a pelvic bone or pubic area. Such incidents cause blood vessels to burst and tissues to tear, leading to a condition colloquially known as broken penis. Doctors urge elderly men and their partners to avoid risky or unfamiliar positions, particularly those that require strong physical exertion or unusual angles. Aging muscles are weaker, joints more fragile, and reaction time slower. Simple, comfortable positions that require minimal strain are the safest and most pleasurable options for elderly couples. 4. Never force intimacy. Consent and emotional readiness are essential. Last but certainly not least, never, under any circumstance, should one partner force intimacy upon the other. Emotional readiness is just as important as physical health. Renowned therapist Trinh Trung Hoa shared countless heartbreaking stories of older couples seeking help. In one case, a woman in her 70s was emotionally and physically abused for over a decade by her husband, who insisted on frequent sex despite her clear reluctance. Even after she pleaded and begged him to stop, he continued, disregarding her pain and turning their intimate life into a nightmare. Eventually, she filed for divorce at the age of 72. This sad story highlights the danger of ignoring a partner's feelings and needs. True intimacy begins with compassion. While men often have a steady level of sexual desire, women's desires fluctuate based on hormonal changes, emotional well-being, and life stress. Instead of demanding, a wise man should awaken and nurture desire through love, patience, and kindness. Unlike men who may use Viagra, women don't have a magic pill for desire, it is cultivated emotionally. Kind words, gentle gestures, shared laughter, these are the true aphrodisiacs in old age. In short, dear viewers, sexuality in old age is not just about physical gratification, it's about the harmony between mind, body, and soul. A fulfilling intimate life can bring companionship, happiness, and even health benefits, but it must be grounded in love, understanding, moderation, and care. Respect your limits, cherish your partner's feelings, be mindful of the body's changes, and above all, protect your health, because when love is gentle, age becomes just a number. Advice for the elderly on intimacy, health, and lasting love. As we age, our bodies change, our energy shifts, and our priorities evolve, but the need for connection, love, and emotional intimacy remains timeless. For elderly couples, physical intimacy may no longer be about passion-filled nights or youthful excitement. Instead, it becomes something even more meaningful, a tender space where two souls meet in understanding, vulnerability, and deep companionship. It's in these years that we must shift our focus from performance to presence, from quantity to quality, and from physical expectations to emotional resonance. One of the greatest lessons seniors can learn about sexuality is that intimacy is not just a physical act, it's an emotional and spiritual one. Pushing yourself or your partner beyond your physical capacity can lead to more harm than good, both physically and emotionally. There's no pride in trying to mimic youthful vigor when your body is clearly asking for gentleness and care. Instead, there is great wisdom in slowing down, listening to your body, and engaging in touch, conversation, and closeness that nurtures rather than depletes. Communication is vital. Many elderly couples face silent frustration or quiet suffering because they never speak openly about their sexual needs, fears, or limitations. If something doesn't feel right, say so. If you need more affection and less intensity, express it. If your partner is no longer emotionally or physically in tune with your needs, don't remain silent. Mutual understanding grows from open-hearted dialogue, not silent assumptions. Equally important is the emotional climate of the relationship. A woman who feels emotionally neglected, criticized, or burdened by chores and responsibilities will not feel desire. A man who feels rejected, shamed, or pressured may retreat in silence. Sexual desire in older age is more about emotional safety than physical need. Therefore, nurturing your partner's heart, through kindness, presence, and affection, will do more for your love life than any pill or technique. Another essential reminder, consent and comfort must come before all else. Forcing intimacy or using guilt to coerce your partner into physical acts damages trust and leaves emotional scars. Your partner is not obligated to perform for your pleasure. Instead, both individuals should feel seen, valued, and safe. True intimacy only blossoms in an atmosphere of respect and emotional security. Finally, don't be afraid to redefine what intimacy means to you. A long embrace, a loving gaze, gentle cuddling, or even simply holding hands while sharing stories can be more fulfilling than any physical act. Love in old age is about presence, attention, and shared memories. The fire of youth may dim, but the warmth of companionship, if nurtured with care, can glow even brighter. So take your time, be kind to your body and to one another. Let love grow in quiet moments, in soft laughter, and in patient understanding, because real intimacy, at any age, is about feeling deeply connected, not just physically touched. Thank you for watching until the end of the video. If you find this video useful, please like, share and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on more valuable content. See you in the next video.